Anyways, enough of that.
But
Zuckfoya.
all right, we're gonna have a draft coming up here.
Some hashtag Zuckboys in chat. All right. Just waiting on the other team here to ready up. I think to start things off here, that's going to be...
There we go.
Let's see, who's going to be getting...
The draft is beginning. Take it away, boys.
You couldn't have just taken the other microphone?
He's far away, man. All right? I missed you, dude.
All right, so it's GFE on the right side there with the first pick going to ban out Thrall to start things off.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, Naventic has been playing fantastic with these, high aggression melee assassins, the Kerrigan.
ban Tomster out, just get him off of Kerrigan Thrall, please.
I agree completely. I think that's a very good targeted ban from GFE. Naventic with their first ban. Are they willing to last game we saw the Abathur first ban. That was Cursed Hollow. Won't happen on this map. You won't see Abathur here. Are they willing to potentially let either Tass, Vala, or Ariel through? Because we've been seeing them ban out Tassadar, and we've seen the power of Ariel. Are they willing to let one of those go through, potentially?
Well, I feel like at this point, GFE's got him in a really tough spot, because if you don't ban out Zagara, then you leave... GFE over here with a great solo laner. Crone has been playing a very effective Zagara today.
That's true. He had money moss.
Give him full control over the
Also, they're going to let a lot through. I like this ban. You ban out
it leaves a lot up.
Yeah. So you were right about the Zagara. They're already hovering it. If they lock that in, that gives a lot for Naventic that they can pick. Now, I don't think we've seen Naventic. Have they ran Vala? Maybe one game?
Yeah, I think maybe they no, I actually
being told no.
I don't think they have.
Through the grapevine.
Yeah, we just got
through the green.
What'd you say? No, they have not.
No,
okay.
Yeah, we haven't heard a thing about. We heard no. Okay, all right, we read it actually, but. Zagara will be that first pick. I mean, again, like you said, with the Thrall being banned out, the Crowan played fantastically.
Kerrigan, get that aggression again. They're feeling hot with it. Okay.
Oh, they're going to go for the Zul. I
Zul
think
makes
that's
more sense
that's
on this
fine.
map,
Yeah. Well, you got the follow up for you got the easy to land roots from Zul.
Now who's going to get? I'm ready for GFE to run another Tychus Odin. Or Odin Tychus. What do you think?
I think maybe wasn't that only in response to the Cho'Gall?
Probably, but I still want to see it again because we never get to see
I don't
Odin.
think Tychus is potentially bad here either way. Again, Zuna, we pointed out, been playing Tychus like a monster all day. They tried denying it last game, which I don't think was part of the issue of that game at all.
With GFE here, I feel like they're probably going to get Tassadar. It's something they've been banking a lot on today. But
I mean, I think that has to happen.
But remember, too, like they did really well with the Ariel double support.
On
there's
the
definitely a pattern here.
map.
Ariel's double support is just wrecking today. I think it's like 100% win rate thus far.
It's strong. Ariel alone is a fantastic hero, but when you mix it with anyone else, there's so much easy sustain, and we've seen it with the Karazim, we've seen it with the Brightwing, we've seen it with the Tassadar at this event. It looks so good, and that's what they're thinking about right now. I mean, it is GFE, so you have Akaface. They're probably thinking about, do we want to pick up the Brightwing here as well?
Yeah, they can always run with Fan playing Tassadar if they want to run it that way as well. So they definitely have the people, to fill the roles and play it effectively if they want to do it here. Using a lot of their time bake, I'm guessing that's what they're debating about right now on comms.
Guys, can you refer to who's here with the time turning back?
Okay, yeah, sorry. We can see which team is which on the draft. The team on the left, the red team, is Naventic, and the team on the right is Gale Force Esports. And Gale Force did just pick up the Leoric Orioles, so they are in a... this is a cool draft. I mean, we saw a decent amount of Leoric day one. We saw a lot of it from Caffeine, and I think we saw a few games of it from GFE. This is the first Leoric we've seen today, though. We saw it banned once in the Cho'Gall game, obviously, because the Drain Soul is so powerful versus the Cho'Gall, but this is the first time we've seen him picked up today. There was the Task ban, as well as the Lieutenant Morales ban.
Lieutenant Morales ban, okay. That's a little surprising to me, but considering the comp right now, there's not a whole lot of aggression to be able to get onto and pressure down the Morales.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just like they don't want to be wrapped
It's also
up.
Kema's one of his go-to supports.
Yeah, of course. It's kind of a target ban. Just thinking about how it would apply to the game. When you've got all these backliners like Zagara and Ariel, people who can't really offer much aggression in the fight, it can be tough to get on somebody like Morales. But with the Leoric, I actually like Leoric here. I think it's smart because it's going to give them a little bit of an edge in the wave clear. And it also pairs well with just being able to delay on this map.
Yeah.
You can get in there, you can Wraith Walk out, get your delay in, scoot around the map pretty safely against ETC. But Falstad, that surprises me. I feel like maybe at this point that's their solo lane option, considering everything else is picked or banned.
Yeah. Has Naventic ran Falstad today? That was a lot of Prismat earlier.
Yeah.
And
don't think- I
and
don't
a bit
think
of
Naventic-
Goku, I think, too. Goku played at one game, but I don't think we've seen them run Falstad today. They got the Li Ming again. I mean, Zuna's Li Ming last game was ferocious. He played that so well, so really happy to see that. And again, anytime you take Li Ming away from Gale Force, you're taking away from Crowan. So always a good pick up there. Last two picks for GFE. They've got Oriole as a support. Do they want to go the duo support? Do they want to go duo warrior here? They've only got the Leoric right now.
Yeah, they might be thinking about picking up the hammer style comp again. They've had some good success with it, especially on this map. But, they're learning from last game. Looks like considering pairing up, yep, they're going to do the Oriole plus Brightwing. So just an epic amount of mass sustain for this team now against the double mage of Naventic there on the left-hand side. Just a reminder, Naventic on the left, GFE is on the right. And
I think they have to go. I think if they go Vala here, this is a pretty solid comp. They got
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh, yeah,
damage.
Vala
They
would be
got
great.
great sustain. And when it comes to supports, I mean, who is left for Naventic to pick? I mean, I don't know if Uther could keep up with this comp.
yeah, and Uther doesn't really have somebody big to go into D-Shield except for maybe pairing it with the ETC. Maybe like a Karazim. I feel like that's
Yeah,
something.
there's the Vala. I mean, this is so much sustain. You got
Yeah.
great DPS to say. They're going with solo support Tyrande. I mean, I think
What?
this is exactly what they need to do to potentially beat this comp. You can't out-sustain this, so you kill it. I mean, you
Wow.
kill it before they can do anything.
Okay, is solo support Tyrande doable here for Naventic?
I mean, we haven't seen it much lately, and I'm skeptical. But the way Naventic has been playing today, they've been super on point with their aggression. And I feel like they're just going to dominate the rotations. And if Zagara starts to win her lane and tries to start pushing that lane too hard, I feel like they can just easily turn the Roam squad to go bottom and get a quick gank onto her. So I feel like it's doable, but I'm certainly skeptical to see Tyrande solo support.
What do you think, Soya?
I think with how dominant this has looked this weekend, people have to start experimenting with other ways to take it down. I don't know what's going on in scrims at all, but Tyrande, yes, is out of the meta, but this might be one of the answers to help burst something down.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing that's good about GFE here is that they've been struggling to gain control over objectives for the most part. And I think having Zagara, having a little bit of push will help do that, and having the extra wave clear. But let's go see what our casters have to say. Jake, what do you think?
Alrighty, guys, we're going into game number 2 technically, but Naventic have a 2-0 advantage in this best-of-5 series, and you know, I'm thinking the Tyrande pick is gutsy. It really is against double support as well. But Dunk, I'm all for it. This is going to be in your face, full ham sandwich style Naventic, looking to make those rotations and find those ganks.
Absolutely. I think the composition which Naventic has created is very well rounded. Zul really fills a lot of the holes that Tyrande has in her team style. You know, she costs you wave clear. She costs you some of that control in the front line. She's another range hero. So the fact that they have the Zul, which adds more follow-up CC, more combos you can do, plus provides all the wave clear Tyrande is missing, I think the composition that Naventic has made is very well-rounded and will do extremely well, even on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
And traditionally, we don't see Brightwings run Cleanse. And we're looking at a team that's gonna need Cleanse because of these kind of aggressive combos that can be made. Power Slide, Lunar Flare alone is scary. Bone Prison, another option to set up those kind of plays. And Hunter's Mark, we actually see the emphasis on it. Level 1 with Ranger's Mark. Kenma wants to make these blow-ups happen left and right. Akaface, the Power Slide was a little bit off. Akaface with a nice juke will be able to live as a result.
Yeah, it's nice that Akaface got to survive there, but that level 1 kill was just a demonstration of the power of this composition. And you would think as Gale Force, when you've drafted the Leoric, your impression is that you are safe from these kill combos because the Leoric should be able to Wraith walk away, should be able to avoid that damage. But honestly, Naventic is packing so much firepower with that Hunter's Mark that even the Leoric is a kill target during this game, so they are going to have to play out of their minds
true.
to not get caught and picked off on these rotations.
Okay, the whip in on Jason, power sliding towards Beacon. You're talking about the damage output with that Hunter's Mark. You can see when there's that purple icon on the right of his health bar, that means he will take amplified damage due to Hunter's Mark, and that's when you're going to see all the focus coming out from Naventic. They're looking at Michael Udall, the Bone Prison, the Lunar Flare. Another kill has been picked up.
Pen is trying to get a kill on
good heals.
Zuna on the bottom side of the map, but he just won't be able to make it happen. That Tyrande did provide just enough healing, and this is the phase of the game which Tyrande excels in. This rotation, this kill pressure, this is where Tyrande is amazing.
Oh
so
my
you would
goodness.
expect to see, not quite killing Beacon, but you would expect to see Naventic come out to a lead here.
Yeah.
It's the late game where the solo healer Tyrande starts to cost you.
They've already added the swap lanes for Zagara. Zagara typically will stay in one lane for the entire first half of the game, and because of this presence in the top, Zagara ended up going bottom. So any work on she had done towards reducing the ammunition in the top towers in the first few minutes, well, that has been nullified, and she's now versus Zool in the bottom, and just a small experience lead with the 2 kills though. That is the saving grace. They do have the the push potential, and Zagara will continue just forcing the lanes out. But if Naventic keeps the pressure up and they find themselves an experienced lead, well, it's going to be tough for Gale Force.
Absolutely. If Naventic gets ahead, that multiplying damage from the Hunter's Mark just gets so impactful. But I think Gale Force's saving grace is once they hit level 10, they have that Crystal Aegis, they have the big heroics, I think, to allow them to survive. Level 10 spike is good for Naventic. They get the mosh pit, but it's not as impactful. So Gale Force is really playing a stall the game out, try and make it slow, don't give up kills, and just control the pace of the game. That's how they win. They play it slow, they get to the late game, and take advantage of Tyrande in the late game.
Okay, well, Crowan has been able to do a decent bit in the bottom lane. Ammunition, more or less, has been nullified on those towers. Beacon, a nice forward Lunar Flare, but Beacon, well aware, will just path himself up and back towards the mid lane, so not at risk of a death. And the gem turn-in is just about dead even. How do you think we're going to see the full-fledged Tyrande build work out in this game? Obviously, we're seeing more of the utility style going for Ranger's Mark. Wants a little bit more additional healing, so Healing Ward was picked up, so there's no Hedwig talents picked up whatsoever. Just probably Lunar Momentum at level 7, but past that, what are you expecting?
It's such a difficult decision to make because there are so many options for Tyrande. Between the Shadowstalk and the Starfall, both are reasonable, but given the heavy range nature of the composition that Gale Force has, I would expect to see Shadowstalk. Because maybe you can try and you can try and make some plays with the EPC, but other than that, you have to go for the sprint, right? You need that mobility. If you don't take that,
That's
you're
true.
So vulnerable, and I don't think we'll see the overflowing light.
Okay, well, we will see. Shade was picked up for Zool level 1 for a little bit of additional sustain on that hero, and the power slide will land. Bone Prison follow-up, but B-Kid stays in that Wraith Walk as long as possible to make sure that's not an issue, and they're turning around onto Jason. The phase shift in. Jason will barely be able to slip out into the shadows, and a big hammer in there, but a nice juke from Fan, who will then be able to vault on back. All things considered, a lot was spent there. Crowan trying to turn in those 19, but Jason steps on forward just in time and will be able to get the loudspeakers to knock him back once more. But this is going pretty well for Gale Force until that moment. Zuna with the rotation, going to get the kill on B-Kid. Oh, as I say that, he's going to be able to get that Drain Hope for a lot of regen, and Big E was literally like 2 damage away from getting a kill. We have the 1 kill down in favor of GFE, making it a 2 for 2 at this point with Leoric going down, but he will be back very quickly, and everyone on the side of Gale Force is on the wrong side of the map. They're trying to Hearth, but there's no way that will happen, and this means that Gale Force will lose literally all of their gems.
That's actually Naventic on Gale Force's side of the map.
Goodness. Yeah.
Playing hyper-aggressive, which they are known for, but getting very overextended, especially down that choke. There was a beautiful flank from Fan on that ball that put so much pressure on the backline, and as Biggie tried to get that last auto on Leoric, he was tanking so much damage from Bala, and that swing in the game state is going to be crucial. We did see so much pressure from Naventic in the early game, and that forced Brightwing to take Cleanse. Leoric had to take Hardened Bones. He's been making good use of that ability, but now that we've seen Gale Force Esports get the tempo swing in their favor because of that aggression, now they have a chance to capitalize on it. They're going to hit level 10 first from this Web Weaver pressure, and that's going to be huge for them.
All right, Leo's taking some big damage and will end up losing his life. That's going to help them deal with this first pack of Web Weavers as he will be down and out for a short while. But of course, that Trey of his, the Undying, is going to be constantly alive, and he'll be up. Well, actually, he's just about respawn.
Yeah, and the time it takes you to describe Leoric's trade, he's already back alive. But Crowan will not be so lucky if he falls here, although he did manage to squirm his way back into his own base.
Level 10 is here on the side of Gale Force, though. Naventic on the defense does defend 1. Entomb just onto ETC alone. Rain of Vengeance following in, but the power slide should be enough to get him out. The second Rain of Vengeance does actually barely catch him, and Kenma not able to save him. That lone support Tyrande does not have a lot of healing.
Absolutely. Tyrande is so good on the offensive, but once you get those tools to engage onto Tyrande's team, like the Entomb, she doesn't have the power to save him. And props to Fan there. That was the best calculation in terms of range of that Rain of Vengeance, absolutely showing off why splitting that into 2 single-use charges is so impactful.
Zuna gets super low. B-Kid on Big E. And this is just looking like Gale Force is turning up the heat. Level 11, 10 still not here for those heroics on the side of Naventic. But they're going to look to change that very soon. Stalling out the turn-ins, not enough in the bank quite yet. But remember that the gem count was reset on the side of Naventic, so they still have a bit of ground to cover for their first turn-in.
They do. They are missing quite a few gems. And now...
there's a Shadow Stalk. That's going to help them a lot in their team fight.
Absolutely. It will help deal with the poke initially. A stun goes in onto Aquaface, but he blinks heals away. They won't be able to target him. And Naventic is looking for those big pickoffs. They would have liked to kill Aquaface there since he cannot cleanse himself. The only tool available for him is that Crystal Aegis, but against this double support lineup, the later we go into this game, the fewer opportunities there will be for Naventic to find those individual pickoffs that they need.
I actually really like Naventic's team fight at this point, though. I mean, you think about Gust and the Skeletal Mages, the way that they can separate people, if coordinated properly, but that was a bit sloppy. You saw they didn't actually intend to Gust Aquaface. The Lunar Flare was placed to land on him and have the rest of the team separated. No blink targets in range, and they would just blow him up, but Brightwing was barely in the Gust.
Absolutely. That's the kind of mistake that will cost you quite a while, especially when you commit a heroic to it with a 40-second cooldown. Henma's now getting Entombed, and the Drain Life will be all it takes for B-Kid to lock that down. Jason tried to peel by power sliding onto the backline, but it was not enough. B-Kid is just wreaking havoc here on this front line. Nobody is able to take him down, and a nice maw from Crowan to block Zuna into the corner.
Yeah, there's no heals available. Power Slide will get him out. The damage output onto B-Kid is good, but Zuna does not find the kill. Steps forward and gets the poly, but able to barrel roll away over the wall. Gale Force in complete control of this game so far.
Absolutely, and that was just such a disciplined fight. Despite having what seemed like an overwhelming health advantage, they realized they were in danger. Once you get low against a Li Ming, you have to play back. You have to play conservatively.
Oh, my ham sandwich. Zuna is flying in onto the back line. He will find Fan. Aquaface is low. The Bone Prison goes down with the Hunter's Mark, and the Owl does not quite connect on B-Kid. B-Kid barely lives.
Aquaface tanked that Owl for his buddy beautifully, literally taking an Owl bullet for his friend, but that was so close.
It was clutch. I mean, they were expecting the Owl. They did respond properly and they stay alive. Naventic finally has themselves out on the map. Problem being is they don't have level 13 quite yet, but if they do get the turn in, they have more than enough. Tomster will confirm that right now. They can look to take down some structures, reclaim their position here in terms of experience, reclaim their position when it comes to map control, as in taking down some of these structures.
Absolutely, and that 12 to 13 deficit will not mean too much.
Oh my
once they start getting this experience, but
Zuna, he's out of position. B-Kid's looking for him. He's got the Entomb. Barrel roll has been saved. Gust is there, so that means there's no damage. And he actually saves the Entomb, acknowledging that it's not going to get the benefit. Great response here on the side of Naventic.
Gale Force really thought they had Zuna caught out there, and his positioning looked scary, but it was not enough. And now Rowan had responded to the pressure on the top side by getting really far forward, but now Fan might be paying the price as Jason goes in with a huge power slide.
Oh man,
Crowan
they are
and
just
Aquaface.
splitting their focus, but it's working. They force out Crowan's Maw, and that's going to be another big win here. Naventic has evened up the experience. They have those Web Weavers in top and bottom still, but Jason's got to be careful. There's not a lot of heals behind this. Shadow Stalk still on cooldown.
Yeah, but there's also no damage
True.
alive right now, or at least in position to deal damage on the side of Gale Force, and that means Jason can do whatever he pleases. He doesn't care about that M2. Jake, he's got all the friends he needs, and now Crone is in danger again, just not respecting the roam potential of this Naventic team. All it took was 2 members of Naventic rotating down to that bottom side to catch Crone out of position, and that is going to be costly. Gale Force cannot afford to keep giving up these single pickoffs. These cascading death timers, so staggered, is exactly what Naventic is looking for.
Yeah, and it's given them that position. I mean, they've reset a lot of the gems that existed on the side of Gale Force, and as a result, really evened the odds for them. As I want to point out, Kenma was thinking about his level 13 talent for a fair bit of time, but he did end up locking in the sprint as predicted. So he knows that he needs more healing, but at the same time, the moment he doesn't lock in sprint, he becomes this big, juicy target, especially for things like Leoric flaking at him with that Entomb.
Absolutely. And sprint. Tyrande is just one of those few heroes that still has that amazing movement ability at level 13.
Oh my goodness, Crone is taking a ton of damage. Crystal Aegis has to be used in the face shift, but it's not enough. The Mosh on 2, that's going to mean a dead Akka face. Rain of Vengeance from Fan, desperately trying to keep the team peeled, but that's not going to be enough because everyone else is dead.
Oh, Beacon. The Wraithwalk just did not last long enough there. Very good by Tomster to hold off on that Bone Prison until the Wraithwalk was well into its duration, so the Bone Prison triggered after the Wraithwalk was finished, making sure the Beacon died, and that means this is a boss for Naventic, plus they get to combo this with a turn-in, plus they get to combo with 16 to 15 advantage.
What a
This is
turnaround. I mean, we're talking about this is Naventic running an early game comp. They didn't necessarily get this devastatingly powerful lead in the early game. Actually, Gale Force is the one that reset their gem count, took the lead. But that one approach with everyone going to the top towards Zuna, that ended up being very costly for Gale Force, has thrown this game way off balance. We've got the turn-in behind a boss, a level 16 advantage, and Naventic, they are, well, they're pressing the issue.
They are not going to relent. They want everything they can take from this. Now, they might not get the keep here. It's going to be close. There's so much anti-siege potential from Gale Force because of those 4 range heroes that this boss will get eliminated before the Web Weaver even drops. But there's so much pressure on the rest of the map. Falstad is soaking a ton of experience, and even if Naventic doesn't accomplish that much with this turn-in, they've set themselves well on the path towards an early level 20, and they're going to be able to control the momentum in this game.
Well, the keep is defended. 2 Web Weavers still standing strong. Gale Force's big benefit is the fact that they nearly have those 16 talents. Lunar Flare has been spent. That is a longer cooldown, but Lunar Momentum, of course, makes that pretty much non-issue. With the threat of Beacon in the front, immediately see all the members that have no mobility just backing away. But they've done their job. They've opened up those keep walls and set themselves up for plenty of other options for the next turn-in.
It's interesting. We actually see the True Shot aura coming out from Tyrande.
With this comp, that's really surprising.
Exactly, that is surprising.
Oh, Leo gets a Crystal Aegis snap before the Lunar Flare can even connect. They do have that nice Entomb, but it's not that nice when the entire team of yours has been gusted away. So, well, that's just a wasted heroic and a dead Leoric.
Absolutely. Leoric expected to have the follow-up, but a beautiful Gust prevented his team from being in position. And, you know, Gust and Tomb is something we talked about back in the day when Leoric was really popular in the meta. Falstad was really popular in the meta. Of course, Falstad still is, but you want the Gust on your side so you can lock someone in and shove the team away. It doesn't work so well in reverse for the Leoric.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like, we've seen the Molotov cocktail where you put a Butcher in the Entomb with the Furnace Blast, and then you Gust everyone into the Entomb and it just explodes and everyone dies. But not the case here today. A lot of gems will be dropped off, 46 in total in the pockets of Naventic, and they are running away with this. Guys, this is tournament point, and I want to stress how crucial this match is for Gale Force. The prizing breakdown is 80% of the prize pool. That's like $9,000+ to first, where second place only gets 20% of the prize pool, which is around $2,000. So there's a big disparity here, and Gale Force finds a turn-in. That's good.
Naventic does not want to give up that turn-in, but they had positioned very aggressively on the bottom side of the map. They were looking for a pick-off. They were using their composition towards its strengths. They were like, okay, we're going to take the risk. We will let them have the turn-in if they all go to the top turn-in, but that's worth it because if they make a mistake and if they split up and come to us on the bottom side of the map, then we'll get a pick-off, we'll be able to force a keep, and that's what they were looking for. But Gale Force sniffed that out, they made the correct rotation. The Zagara creep has been so helpful in terms of overall map awareness for Gale Force. And now this turn-in is really their last hope before Naventic hits 20. Once Naventic gets that level 20 power spike, you can bet that Naventic will be looking to get across the map and kill Gale Force's structures. If not their core, then at least multiple keeps, given the fact they will have a huge advantage. And Gale Force has this push to respond to that.
Yeah, they are marching on forward, trying to get the absolute maximum out of these web rivers for the experience, but Zuna is lurking in the shadows, looking for the gust. Everyone flies in, a beautiful power slide mosh pit, and Naventic with the wombo combo of a lifetime. Gale Force will be evaporated, and Naventic will march across the map.
Naventic, oh man, Fan knows just how devastating that was, drops the B steps, he knows he cannot possibly survive, so it won't cost him anything, and that was a beautiful flyover gust from Zuna, taking advantage, actually, of a small timing window where Gale Force did not believe Naventic would be willing to engage since they had not hit 20 yet. He went just before they were 20. There was still 25% of that experience missing, and he went while Gale Force was like, okay, they're not 20, they won't fight. They missed position, and Zuna spotted that and engaged with a huge gust for his team.
Congratulations to Naventic, the champions of the very first ever Bloodlust, walking home with 80% of our prize pool. GG's, well played. They took home the victory with the lone support Tyrande, and that is impressive.
That game was impressive. I mean, even despite a stumble in the early game,
Right, we expected
they still
more.
recovered.
Yeah.
They recovered, and they not only recovered, they crushed. Of those 5 deaths, they only died 7 times that whole game. 5 of them came from that one play.
Spicy. Just like the pepper you ate. How you feeling? He's been struggling over here, so I want to put him on the block. Yeah. Guys, congratulations once more to Naventic, and yeah, I mean, that's just incredible for them. I'm actually, we're going to throw it over to the analyst couch, and we're going to see if we can line up an interview with one of the members of the winning team. So take it away, guys.
What a last game, KO. That's over $8,000 for Naventic, who started out the day in a much different spot than we just saw them. KO, who made the big difference that game?
First of all, congratulations to Naventic. I mean, they really went out in style playing Tyrande in this last game. And I've got to say, like, Zuna put on the masterclass of Falstad that game. I thought you were going to disagree with me for a second. I mean, there was the one time at the beginning of the game where Zuna tried to fly in. He almost got the kill, but then ended up getting, like, funneled awkwardly, and they all followed Zuna on his team, so they all ended up in front of Gale Force's keep, which was pretty awkward. Mm-hmm. But outside of that play, that was the one hiccup. Everything went smooth, and, like, honestly, if you're trying to learn Falstad, I would say just watch that replay and study it, because Zuna was doing everything right. The gusts were on point all throughout. Huge play after huge play going down for Zuna.
Talk to me, Zoya.
I mean, I think it's very obvious from the start of the game. Not very obvious, but you know that they have not been practicing ATC Tyrande, like, at all recently. And you could see a little bit from Kenma's play, how the lunar flares were just a little bit slow initially, but he picked Tyrande back up so fast. You know Kenma has not been practicing Tyrande. And even at the start, it wasn't necessarily bad, but he cleaned it up so fast. It just blows my mind how versatile these guys can be. There's so many, like, just snap drafts they do, where they're like, we're in the middle of the situation. Double support with Ariel has been God tier. What do? Let's try Tyrande. And they're able to learn and re-pick up things so fast. That was such an amazing game from Naventic, from all the players. But Zuna and Kenma, man, they really stepped up.
How did they keep their cool when they were behind in the middle of the game, right? They started out ahead. They ended up faltering for a little while. What happened? How did they make it happen?
Well, I think it was just a matter of basically getting the pickoffs left and right. I mean, they started just falling back to the strength of the comp, which is to be able to pick off those people who are isolated in lanes around turn-in. You saw a lot of kills onto even B-Kid, who's not immune to this much burst in Wraithwalk. So a ton of damage coming out. Great coordination between Jason and Kenma to make sure that they were finding those combos in the side lanes. And of course, great follow-up from everyone else. Tomster a little bit more quiet that game, but definitely a pivotal role continuing to control the map, which is exactly what you need your Zool to do.
Now, none of this would have been possible without all of you guys, the viewers, the donators. Over $11,000 were raised. I mean, a big shout out to Ting, who helped us out in such a big way. This event wouldn't have been possible in the size and the manner that it has been without Ting. So that's absolutely huge. And all the other sponsors as well, DX Racer, Matcherino, SteelSeries, Blizzard. It sounds like we might have an interview going. Is that happening? Do we get...
Gale just throws up thumbs up
Yeah, he's
without
just-
seeing anything. He's just like...
I mean, an interview sounds great.
Yeah, it does sound great. Why don't you wait for it to be ready, Gale?
Part of it,
Hey, guess we're on camera. What's up, guys? Welcome. We've actually got Zuna here. Is he unmuted? Zuna.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, baby?
What up? Do you want webcam or no?
If you got webcam,
do
we will
I got it.
gladly take it. Oh,
Bang, bang.
how handsome he is.
Full
Zuna.
water.
So first off, congrats, man.
Thank you.
How's the team feeling? Because obviously, you guys just crushed, and PAX West was a little bit of a different story. PAX West, you guys did place very well, but this is the victory, and you guys just, like, honestly, it looked like no contest in the finals.
Yeah, it feels good. Like, we really went into the tournament without playing too much. Like, pretty much we took a weekend or just a full week off, and then I played WoW for a full week, and then they were like, "Oh, let's play the tournament." I was like, "Sure." We said we would, so we will. And then while we played it, like, we only scrimmed, I think, 2 or 3 times, so we didn't have too much practice going in, and we role swapped. But I was just like, "Give me carry, bang bang."
How crucial do you think that was for you guys to actually, just kind of go back in with you as an assassin player?
I think it's pretty big because the way I like to play is like super aggressive. Like I like to make plays. Like I don't rely on my tank to make the plays. So like it changes our play style a lot, and I think lots of people aren't used to that, or like it's like if you notice it, like Korea and China, they like to make plays as much as possible, and that's just like I wanted to change our team style to that compared to just like relying on a tank to get win from rotations or anything like that. So we've been changing up our team play.
In terms of like North America as a whole, where do you think we sit? Like, is Murlocs the hotness? Do you think they are like the number one, and having them not hear it, things might have looked different? Or do you think it's still like a kind of like anyone's position?
I think it's anyone's position at number one. Like I think Murlocs are really good, but I think more than anything, it just depends on the meta. Like whoever gets favored by the meta, and I think Murloc this meta is definitely their best.
All right. I think the last big question I have for you. Oh, Duncan's got a question?
I've got a
Well-
question too.
Ooh, Chaos is
Okay.
joining too.
Yeah, me too.
What up, Zeno?
So,
What
real
up?
quick, do you think Vala is good? Just yes or no. We saw it used against you multiple times, and you guys crushed it every time.
I think Vol is good, but I don't think she's like so good. Like I just think the other teams they rely on Vala because she's really easy to play. You can't mess her up. Like you just multi-shot and you play safe. Like she does decent damage now, but
Yeah.
like playmaking wise, like you're not gonna carry with her. Like you're just gonna be a solid like play. Like you're not gonna die. You're not gonna kill anyone. You're just gonna do solid damage. So she's a good pick in that sense. But I do feel like NA is super overrating her.
Interesting.
KO?
So my question was like we've seen a lot of Ariel paired with the double support all throughout the day. I've been wondering sort of like what's the best way to deal with that. Did you guys think going into this that the solo support Tyrande was more of an answer to that, or is it just something you felt like specifically in this situation was just the way to go?
We just looked at her comp and we were like, Uther's not really going to do anything. We're not going to get kills and we're going to lose the 4-man. So we needed to make sure we win the 4-man because they have a Zagara. And if they get like early turn-ins and then we lose forts, we're just going to lose the game slowly. So we decided Tyrande is not really going to help us too much late game. It's not going to have good heals, but if she can help us win the early game, that's all that matters on the map so we don't get snowballed on.
I think Zoya actually had a question too.
I don't. I just love you, man. You're a god.
Same. Even though you're Alliance.
Oh. So actually, just on the point, you said you took a week off to play WoW, and you've been playing, professionally for League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm for a long time. Do you find it to be valuable to once in a while step away, take a breath from a game, and just step back and kind of reapproach? Because I mean, obviously going to a role swap too, I think that has to be beneficial as well.
Yeah, I definitely think whenever you go really hardcore, you need to take a break after anything big because you need to just get it out of your system so you don't get burned out. You can't just grind 24/7. Like I would say, coming up to PAX, I played and I got Grandmaster on 2 accounts, my Smurf and my main, and like I didn't plan on getting Grandmaster at all. That's how much I was playing. So I played a lot till PAX, and then after that, I was probably playing like 12 hours a day of HOTS plus replays plus scrims, and I just like, okay, you know what, we didn't win BlizzCon. There's Bloodlust coming up. We'll just play it relax, and then just wait till another real big tournament comes out, and just make sure we have team synergy going on more than anything.
I guess my final question, I asked you this exact question at PAX as well. Does NA have any chance at BlizzCon?
Get top 4, hopefully. I can see them getting top 4. Win it, there's no way. Like the biggest problem in NA is that it's like the top teams were getting better, like that's for sure, but it's really hard because the other teams they're already better and they're only getting better too. So like if we can't play against them and we can't learn meta, because like in NA we have just a really nasty meta at the moment. So like as you can see, like Denial and GFE, they kind of play the same, like lots of triple range, lots of double support, and then we just run whatever, like a whole bunch of kill comps or like super lane like map domination, and then we have Murlocs that just run like pretty standard every game, and then they run like random Medivh stuff. So we'll see when it happens, but hopefully NA wins. I'll be cheering for them.
Oh, very cool. Any shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go, man?
Shout out to Naventic and all our sponsors, even though I don't really know them. G Fuel, I know that one, if that's our only one. Meta Threads, I think. And appreciate hosting the tournament, and for all the people that raised the money. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the games.
Well, Zuna, congratulations on bringing home the $9,000-ish, whatever the 80% amounts to for this event. Not too shabby for an online community raised event. GG's, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. You too.
All right, guys. Well, that was Zuna of Naventic. They took home their victory. And that more or less concludes Bloodlust. Wow. Woo! It's crazy.
We made it. And the Peppers are fighting back over here with Zoya.
Oh my God, he's sending butt owls our way, like after that Tyrande.
So, with that being said, I just want to give a big thank you to each and every one of you that was part of this event. Whether you were a viewer, whether you're one of the teams playing in the event, whether you donated $5 or $500, each and every one of you of the Heroes community helped make this happen. A monster thank you to all of our sponsors, Matcherino, DX Racer with these glorious chairs, Steel Series, who's providing our prizing for 3rd and 4th place, as well as gear for the Arcanate Studio, as this is a brand new project and is very young and growing. Blizzard for supporting us. They featured us in the Battle.net launcher. They gave us some lovely tweets, and they gave us those 10 Machines of War bundles that we gave away throughout the weekend. And then Ting, who is our premier sponsor, who really, truly made this event what it is. I just want to finally say once more, please go to arcane8.ting.com. Consider Ting as a service, especially if your contract is ending soon. Get out of the contract. And for the final hour, one more hour from now, you have the opportunity to donate $5 more to the Ting prize pool or to the Bloodlust prize pool with the Ting SIM card. You get $10 of credit, you double your money, and you support the prizing of the event. A big shout outs to everyone involved. Brosidon, our observer. Manmode, who helped with the online administration. And then Sophis, our tournament director. Ryan and Adam, our production crew. And then all of the talent, myself, Dunk Train. I'm shutting myself out. Yes! Unctious, KO, and then Zoya. It's been a blast.
We have a few names we want to say too. Some of the donators? Yeah?
I mean, I definitely said the donators, Unctious.
I wasn't listening.
Thanks, man. But just like every single piece of the puzzle, thank you all so much. And, well, hopefully we'll see you next time for Bloodlust 2. GG's.
Data is now cheaper on Ting. From now on, prices look like this. Need more? It's just $10 a gig. That's what new customers pay. That's what current customers pay. It's simple. We like simple. See for yourself at ting.com/rates.